this verse, and it is not easy for all of us to uh, say this verse, or the meaning, or realize this, because uh, even if we attempt to say this, then we don't have the strength to tolerate. We will be broken. So whatever we are doing, whatever we are getting by mercy of Krishna, that is itself that we are going through these so many waves, but asking for more calamities, so that Kunti Maharani prays that she gets attachment. She continuously thinks of Krishna, because in only in calamity we are seeking God, seeking Krishna, and otherwise we are back to our material world. विपद संपदे से दीन भला ए दीन तोमार स्मरी तोमार स्मरण राहिते ये दीन से दीन विपद हरि. When we can remember you in either distress or happiness, that is an auspicious day, O Hari. If a day is passed without remembering you, that is an inauspicious day. So one has to remember Krishna in one is in happiness or one is in distress, in all times. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartam jat uchit. So forgetting is when we forget Krishna in a particular day or a particular time, that is more inauspicious. But one has to remember Krishna, that is the most auspicious day. सुख में सुमिरन सब करे दुख में लेकर ना, दुख में सुमिरन सब करे सुख में करे न कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे दुख काहे को होय. This is Kabir ka doha. So one has to remember the Lord always, because what ultimately remains, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, is Krishna himself. So whether during creation, maintenance, and annihilation, without the Supreme Lord's presence in every jiva, the jiva is a jada vastu. The sharir itself becomes useless. It is just made of 5 elements and pancha tattva and pancha mahabhuta, and that will perish. So the body is perishable as the time progresses, and everything else, what remains, is the Paramatma, the soul, when it leaves the body. So, during creation, maintenance, or even annihilation, what remains after annihilation is also just Krishna only. श्रीवास गोष्ठीर चरणे पड़िया भक्ति विनोदा भने तो मादेरा गोरा कृपा वितरिया देखाओ दुर्गत जने. Bhakti Vinoda falls at the feet of Srivasa's family and prays, Gauranga belongs to you. Please be merciful and reveal him to this fallen soul. मृत शिशु लाई तबे भक्त वत्सल भक्त संगे ते गया श्री नाम मंगल. The Lord, who is affectionate to his devotees, then picked up the dead child as he chanted the auspicious names with the devotees. गायते गायते गेला जाना वीरा तीरे बाला के सत्कर कैला जाना वीरा नीरे. As they continued chanting, they went to the banks of the Ganges and performed the child's last rites with the waters of the Ganges. Janavi balena mama saubhagya apara safala haila vrita chila ye amara. The Ganges said, my good fortune is unlimited. My past pious deeds have now borne fruit. Vrita shishu dena gora janavira jale. Utila Janavi Devi Shishu Laya Kole. Kaura then took the dead child into the waters of the Ganges, and Ganga Devi rose from the water and accepted the child in her embrace. Uthaila Sparshe Gora Charana Kamala Shishu Kole Prema Devi Hayatala Mala. She then emotionally touched the lotus feet of Gaura, holding the child in her embrace. The goddess became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. जानवीर भाव देखी यथा भक्त गण श्रीनाम मंगल ध्वनि करे अनुक्षण. On seeing the ecstatic mood of Ganga, the devotees constantly chanted the auspicious names of the Lord. स्वर्ग हैते देव करे पुष्पवारी सना विमान संकुल तबे चैलगा गगन. The demigod showered flowers from the heaven. The entire sky was filled with their airplanes. ei rupe nana bhave haya magana satkara kariya snana kaila sarvajana. In this way, everyone becomes absorbed in various emotions as they complete the child's last rite and took bath. परम आनंदे सबे गेला निज घरे भक्ति विनोदा माजे गोरा भावे भरे. Thereafter, they all returned to their homes in ecstasy, and Bhakti Vinoda merged in ecstatic love for Lord Gauranga. So this was about Srivasacharya's son during the in the ecstatic kirtan which was going on Srivasacharya's Srivasangan's house. That time his son passes away, and the women have been crying, lamenting, and then Lord Chaitanya wakes up the child for a moment, and he says he gives a gyan, and then they all get into the reality, and then after this we saw what uh, they did now. Nadiya nagare gora charita amrita piya soka bhaya chada stira karachita. Drink the nectarian characteristics of Gauranga's Nadiya pastimes and pacify your heart by giving up all lamentation and fear. अनित्य संसारा भाई कृष्ण मात्र सारा गोरा शिक्षा माते Krishna bhaja anivara. Oh brothers, this material world is temporary and Krishna is the only essence. Always engage in the worship of Krishna according to the teachings of Gauranga. So this is the essence. One should realize Sarvatra, whatever we are seeing manifested around us is because of Krishna's energy. Krishna has created this whole thing. We might have so many ministers of Krishna who are worshipping Krishna. So now we will have Ganesh Chaturthi. After that, we'll have Navratri. So all the devotion which we see to these demigods, unless we do it with the right relationships which these demigods have with Krishna, ISKCON does not say that one should disrespect, one should respect all the demigods. But then ultimately, even what demigod gives you is temporary, and it is only because of the sanctioning of Krishna that whoever worships the demigod, they say, oh, I worship Sai Baba, I worship Ganesh Ji, and then I worship Durga, Kali, whatever. So once we know the right relationship and follow the proper agamas, then that is not something which is rejected. But one should respect all the demigods at the same time understand that the supreme personality of Godhead is Swayam Bhagavan Krishna himself. So if you think deeply, you can like take some time off and whatever shastras we are reading. It is not just reading, we are studying. Srila Prabhupada used to say, have you studied to his one of his disciples? He said, yes, Prabhupada, I have read it, I have read it. No, it's not reading, it's just studying. So not only you go through the Shastras, you study. When you mean study, you have to also understand deeply, realize, and then you do mananan and chintan, and you think about it. And everything will be revealed by the passing of time. That the material world, as the time goes, you are also like a character in a drama stage, and you are also going to pass. Like your grandfathers, like your uncles and aunts have passed away, like your parents have passed away. Similarly, there will be a time. So, have we spent our time, which is in the human body, is the best place to get back to the Supreme Lord. One should understand that this temporary world which we have got, we have all come here because of our envious nature towards the Lord. We have all come here. But then this is temporary. Though the material world is real, but it is temporary. So have we utilized our time in Krishna Bhakti or in the service to the Supreme Lord in devotional service? That is what one has to assess. Are we wasting our time with talking about mundane topics, talking about who is the next leader going to come in my state or my country, and what is the neighboring country doing? If we waste our time on Gramya Katha, the time is just running fast. We have no control over the time. With the rising and setting of the sun, one day in the Ayu is taken away. So one has to be very, very sincere in the practice so that at the end when we have the examination. So death is our examination and life is our preparation. At the time of examination, our thinking, willing, and feeling can be bestowed in Krishna. And we don't know what will be our state, in what way we will leave the body. That is why Kulashekar Alwar is to say that at the end of my life, I will be filled with kaf pitta vayu. I don't know whether I'll be able to utter the name or remember you, O Krishna. But when I'm good now, when I'm able to chant with lot of concentration and awareness, may you please take away my prana. गौरर चरण धरि ये भाग्यवान ब्रजे राधा कृष्ण बजे से मोरा प्राण. Any fortunate person who catches the hold of Gaura's lotus feet and worship Radha Krishna in Braja is my life and soul. So Gaurang Mahaprabhu is a combined incarnation of Radha and Krishna. So for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, following the footsteps of Gaurang Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, one is assured to get the mercy of Radharani, because Gaurang Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Radharani searching for Krishna. He wanted to feel that how does a devotee go through, how does a devotee love Krishna, and the topmost devotee after the gopis of the Vraja is the topmost gopi is Srimati Radharani, and her love or her affection for Krishna is the topmost. Her love is said to be concentrated Sandrananda Visheshatma. For us to reach that, I don't know how many lifetimes it will take, but we have to follow the footsteps of the devotees in Braja. Gopir Bharata Pada Kamalayo Dasa Dasa Anudasa. So in we can't say that, oh, I have become this gopi or this manjari. No, we have to follow the mood. We have to follow their service attitude, and they had single-minded focus on Krishna. राधा कृष्ण गौरा चंदा नादे वृंदावन एई मात्र कर सारा पापे नित्य धन. Take Radha Krishna Gaur Chandra Nadi and Vrindavana as the essence of your life, and you will attain eternal wealth. Whatever externally you may be doing in the material life, in at least in the home, whatever you're doing is for pleasing your Lord at home. uh, when you wake up, you do after cleansing yourself, you will do the Mangalarti, or you are chanting, whatever you want to do. And then whatever you cook will be offered to Krishna, and those are all spiritualized. But even when you go out externally, you may be acting as a working in the material world. But internally, you should always remember your ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is to reach the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. And Radharani is the most merciful, and she will recommend this devotee to Krishna. That is why we say Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said we need not utter Radhe Radhe like the Vrindavan Vasis do. When we go there, everything is Radhe Radhe. You get into the auto rickshaw, he'll say Radhe Radhe. You get out, you give him the money, he'll say Radhe Radhe. But Srila Prabhupada said we are not qualified to take the name of Radharani. Hence he says Hare. Hare is meaning, is referring to Radharani only. So that's why we say Hare Krishna. If somebody says Radhe Radhe, we say Hare Krishna. So ultimately, and we are not in a escapism. Just give me a minute. We are not telling this because we want to escape from the material world, but that is the reality. We are not telling that हमको ये material world से भागना है, escape करना है इसके लिए. But we know the truth that the material world where we are living now we are in a temporary phase. Afterwards, neither the name belongs to us, nor this body belongs to us. Everything, Mrityu Sarvasya Haram Chaham. At the time of Mrityu, everything is taken away. What remains is the soul has to get purified. And the best way for purification is the chanting and doing devotional service. And one should know that this is not my home. Material place is not my permanent home. Don't try to be comfortable here. Don't try to make yourself comfortable in the present living. Understand that you have an eternal home where you will be serving. All the relationships in this material world are temporary. This we have to continuously hammer our mind. So, when you read about Radha Krishna pastimes in the Brajalila, so people shouldn't jump to 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, but go step by step from the first canto. The 10th canto is a beautiful Mukharab in the face of the Lord Krishna. So, when one is step by step reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, then going to Bhagavatam, will understand the uh, the transcendental pastimes of Krishna with the gopis, and the gopis are the eternal servitors and highest form of devotion they have. So once when we relish the pastimes in Vrindavana, the even in the Bhauma Vrindavan, that connects us. The ultimate destination is Goloka Vrindavan for all of us. So people go and reside in Vrindavana, but without the permission of your Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru, one shouldn't go and stay in Vrindavana. As of now, you can go with devotees and go around the places, because one has to go through its consciousness. It's not that you purchase a ticket and you reach Vrindavana. It's not that you booked a ticket to Delhi, from there you went to Vrindavan, and or by train you went, and you said, I went to the ISKCON temple, I went to Banke Bihari, I went to all the Goswami temples, I went to Barsana, I did a parikrama of Govardhan. No, it has to be gone through the consciousness, through your Agya Chakra. And when you listen to your Karna Randhra through the years, the pastimes, and those will be revealed to you. So through your consciousness, you are having the darshan of the dham. Through your ears, through the pastimes of Krishna, you can meditate. So in highest level of devotion, people are able to see those pastimes happening. And some great Goswamis and Acharyas have seen even pastimes which probably might not have happened, but might be happening in some other universe. So such are the esoteric pastimes of Radha Krishna and Krishna with his gopas and the gopis. Everything will be revealed as one progresses in devotion. Vidya buddhi hina dina akinchana chara karma jnana sunya ami sunya sadachara. I'm devoid of education and intelligence. I am fallen, meek, poor, and insignificant. I am devoid of pious deeds, knowledge, and proper behavior. श्री गुरु वैष्णव मोरे दिले न उपाधि भक्ति ही ने उपाधि हैला एबे व्याधि. My spiritual master and the Vaishnavas have given me the name Bhakti Vinoda. Yet because I'm devoid of devotion, this name has become a disease. This is Bhakti Vinoda Thakur saying that I am poor, I am devoid of education and intelligence, and Bhakti Vinoda, as the name has been given by my spiritual master, and the devotee feels, Bhaktivinoda Thakur feels, I am devoid of devotion, and this name has become a namesake thing for me. Yatana kariyase vyadi nivarane sharana lainu ami vaishnava charane. To cure this disease, I have taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavera padaraja mastake dhariye soka satana Gaya Bhakti Vinodiya. Taking the dust of the Vaishnava's feet on my head, Bhakti Vinoda sings this Soka Sattana, the destroyer of lamentation. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur has been praising Srivas Thakur, and he has written this Shoka Satana, which is the destroyer of lamentation. These verses he has written. Yadi va samsara dharme nara samavartite Vilambe kandiha yara ye ilaya chite. If you cannot check these familial emotions, then at least cry to your satisfaction later. According to worldly considerations, materialistic people become distressed and cry when they hear news of their son's death. Considering that such mundane behavior would create obstacle in the Lord's feeling of ecstasy while dancing and chanting, Srivasa gave instructions to postpone such mundane behavior for some time. So as materialistic people, we are attached to our body relations, to our children, our family members. And then Srivas Thakur is giving instructions that such mundane behavior will be an obstacle in getting the ecstasy of the love for Lord Godhead. अन्य ये न के कहे ये आख्यान न सुनाए पाछे ठाकुरेरा नृत्य सुख भंग है. Don't let anyone else hear about this incident, otherwise the Lord's happiness from dancing will be disturbed. He wanted that this news should not reach the Gaurang Mahaprabhu, because otherwise the Lord is dancing in ecstasy and that would be disturbed, he said. कलरव सुनी यदि प्रभु भाया पाया तबे आजी गंगा प्रवेशिनु सर्वत्याया. If by hearing your commotion the Lord regains his external consciousness, then I will certainly drown myself today in Ganga. So Srivas Thakur is saying that this commotion, what you are doing, the lamentation, if the Lord regains his consciousness from this ecstasy, being from ecstasy, then Srivas Angan says, I will drown myself into Ganga. Shabe sthira hailena Srivasa vachane chali lena Srivasa Prabhura Sankirtane. After hearing Srivasa's words, the ladies became pacified. Srivasa then returned to the Lord Sankirtana. So the ladies became pacified, and then Srivasa Thakur comes back to the Sankirtana which is happening in this courtyard. Paranande Sankirtana Karaye Srivasa Puna Puna Badeyaro Vishesha Ullasa. As Srivasa participated with great ecstasy in the Sankirtana, his external happiness repeatedly increased. Srivasa Panditera Ema Nama Hima Chaitanyera Parasa Parsadera Eiguna Sima. Such are the glories of Srivasa Pandita, who was the most qualified among Lord Chaitanya's associates. Swanubhava Avanande Nritya Kare Gaura Chandra Katashanik Rahilena Lai Bhakta Brinda. Gaurachandra danced in his own ecstatic mood. After some time, he and the devotees stopped the Kirtana. Swanubhavananda, which is explained is in the realm of pure consciousness, the object to be known is experienced in three aspects: the realization of Krishna Prema, the person who realizes Krishna Prema, and the activities of realizing Krishna Prema. In other words, the object to be known is experienced through realization of Satchidananda, eternal blissful knowledge. So Krishna Prema is the highest realization the Jiva can attain, and that should be our goal. And for that we need the association of devotees and constantly trying to be in service of Lord and constantly trying to have smaranam of Lord. Only when we practice this that we will be able to remember Krishna always. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself displayed the Swanubhavananda, that he was in the realm of pure consciousness. So we'll stop here. This was text 40 of chapter 25. Mataji, we can start from 41 in the next class. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for listening.